the symptom of disease, that is ASCARIASIS.
Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Fazana Abdul, teaching you the biology of class 12, and we are dealing with human health and disease. This is my third lecture in series, and today we will deal with the human disease known as ASCARIASIS. And this disease is caused by a helminth or roundworm. It is also known as intestinal parasite. जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि हमारा ये तीसरा लेक्चर है और आपको हम इस एस्कैरियासिस डिजीज़ के बारे में बच्चों आज बताएंगे. एंड द फर्स्ट थिंग टू डिस्क्राइब द डिजीज़ इज द अकरेंस. एंड दिस डिजीज़ प्रेफर्स mostly warm countries, and it is found mostly in tropical and subtropical countries of the world. जहाँ पे थोड़ा गर्म माहौल होता है उन कंट्रीज में ये डिजीज़ ज़्यादा पाई जाती है. एंड दिस डिजीज़ इज मोस्टली फाउंड इन चिल्ड्रन. The adults are mostly not affected by this disease, but the child stage is very sensitive to this disease. And about 1/6 population of human beings is found to be affected by this disease. So it is an important disease for you people and for us to take care of. Students, now let's come to the board. And the second point is the pathogen. What is the pathogen which causes the disease? And it is known as ascaris. And as per Pond-Born-Lipay, the classification, any animal is described by two names, and the one is ascaris and the second one is lumbricoides. But I have not written is this. You can learn only this, the name of pathogen, that is ascaris. It belongs to phylum Nematoda, and it is an intestinal parasite. I think when we teach you the classification in class 11, then we tell you about the main characteristic symptoms of nematodes and phylum Nematoda. And I have drawn the diagram here, and you can easily see there are two diagrams here, and it is bisexual. It means the sexes are separate here, and the female is longer in size. Very important point, female is longer in size than male, and it is about 20 to 35 centimeter long, whereas male is 15 to 30 centimeter long only. The body, you can see, it is long, cylindrical and unsegmented. And now as we are studying the disease, so we come to the disease symptoms. And children are mostly affected, as I have told you. And the first symptom is the loss of appetite in a child. As the growing child needs good supplementation and nutrition, so the growth of the child is hampered by this disease, and the growth of child is retarded. As the number of pathogen increases in the intestine, in the alimentary canal of the patient, the loss of appetite, then indigestion, colic pain, then insomnia, बच्चे की नींद आनी बंद हो जाती है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट डायरिया, लूज मोशन स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं, और पेट में ऐठन या कन्वर्जन्स स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं, एज यू कैन क्लियरली सी ऑन द बोर्ड. एंड इन लेटर स्टेजेस फीवर, appendicitis and anemia appear. I think you must be knowing about the appendix, a small tube-like structure in our alimentary canal, and it is a closed tube-like structure, and sometimes it's get affected by any infection or by this worms. So it is a very painful thing when the larvae of this pathogen enters in the appendicitis if the patient is not consulted by doctors and advised by the doctors for having the medicines. In a severe condition of infection, the damage of intestinal walls by the larvae of this pathogen takes place, and it damages the arteries, which are known as blood capillaries, and the hemorrhage takes place inside the body of the patient. Here ideal condition of infection when the large number of larvae come out of the heads by hatching process. They enter in bloodstream and they reach up to the vital organs of the patient, that is liver, kidney and lungs, and it causes the significant damage to the patient. And about 500 to 5,000 ascaris may be found at a time in the alimentary canal of a diseased person. And the other point is this, that the female ascaris lays about 2 lakhs eggs per day. Now we come to the life cycle of the pathogen, that is Ascaris lumbricoides, and it is also known as the transmission of pathogen between the body of human being, that is intestine, and between the soil and the water. As large number of eggs comes out or excreted out during the fecal matter along with the fecal matter of the patient, then it contaminates the water and soil and vegetable also, which are sown in the crop fields. And while feeding upon the contaminated food and water, and when the child play in the contaminated or infected soil, these eggs reach in the alimentary canal of a healthy person. Now the second step, when it reaches in the intestine, the hatching of Ascaris eggs takes place and the larvae come out. This important process happens in intestine, and large number of larvae of this pathogen now is present in the fluid of intestine. They start penetrating the intestinal wall, and with flow of blood they reaches up to the liver and finally entering the lungs. From lungs, they enter in the respiratory tract of the infected person, especially mainly in the child's, and then they come in the esophagus, and finally they reach up to the intestine again. Now they are grown up and they start living as parasite. They feed upon the digested food which is present in the host intestine, and they attach themselves in the wall of intestine with their special type of lips present in the anterior body of their entire body structure. Finally, they develop in adult male and female ascaris. Again, ascaris starts laying egg. Now the cycle is complete here. As you have initially seen that I am saying, I have told you that large number of eggs are excreted out along with the fecal matter, and again here you can see that adult female ascaris starts laying egg in the intestine. Now the final point is therapy or treatment. The medicines which are used to give the child, that is to give the child or an adult person which is infected by this ascariasis disease, important medicines are Dicaris, Antipar, Mebendazole and Chenopodium oil, and these medicines help to remove this pathogen or ascaris, adult ascaris, from the intestine of patient. Prophylaxis or the prevention from disease, one should avoid eating the raw vegetable, and it should be washed properly before cooking. The open food and cut fruits which are sold in the market should be avoided, and drinking water or contaminated water should be avoided for drinking purpose, and a student should, child should be prohibited to play in the contaminated soil. So students, that's it. Now students, this lecture is complete now, and we will meet soon in my next lecture. Goodbye and best wishes to all my dear students. Thank you.